Alright, what's going on, everybody? We are live for the Defenders and the Aviators here in Week 2. The game started a couple minutes ago. I'm on a little bit later than I wanted to be. And we actually just saw the Defenders score a touchdown right as I started the stream. But we are about 4.5 minutes in. So welcome to the stream, everybody. The Defenders have just jumped out to the lead. So let me update this real quick. But welcome to the stream, everybody. It is Defender football. They're kicking the extra point right here after going right down the field on their opening possession. And here is Matt McCrane to add the extra point, and his kick is good. It was a weird camera angle, but it is good. So it's 7-0 Defenders as they go right down the field on the game's opening possession and take the early lead. It was a 1-yard touchdown run for Deion Jackson. And the Defenders strike first. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Sorry I'm on late. Let me pull up the chat and also put out a poll while they're a commercial. Alright, there is the poll. Be sure to vote on that. Defenders or Aviators. I took the Aviators here. A little bit of an upset. I took the Aviators. I forget what score I said. I'll check that, but I know I took them. And I think this is going to be a close game. Both these teams lost last week, but looked okay. I mean, the Aviators did look a little bit better last week. So that's part of the reason I took them. But I'm going to check my prediction. Give me 1 second. Let's see. I said 20-16 Aviators. So that is my prediction for the game. We got 10:37 to go in the first half. Or sorry, the first quarter. Defenders up 7-0. Their opening drive, 8 plays, 60 yards. As they took 4:23 off the clock. But the Aviators will get the ball for their first possession, and we'll see what they can do. Defenders 2.5-point favorites coming into the game. And they're on the board first. So let's see what they can, or what the Aviators can do on their first possession. So the Defenders kick it off. And this one is going to go into the end zone on the fly. So that's going to bring the ball out to the 45, I believe. And that brings Jalen McClendon and the Aviators offense onto the field. McClendon last week, 212 yards. 21 for 32 passing. And he also ran for 30 yards. Not amazing. Not terrible. The Aviators also ran the ball fairly effectively. And they'll start on their own 40 after the kickoff went out of bounds. Went into the end zone on the fly. They do that to try to encourage more kick returns. Which is the same thing the NFL does, just a 5-yard difference. So 1st and 10 from the 40. And the first play here is a throw to the flat, incomplete. Talon never saw the ball. And McQuendon's pass, incomplete. Jalen McQuendon, he started just 13 games in the last 13 years, so since high school. But been pretty solid when he has started. A good second half of the year last year with the Roughnecks, now known as the Gamblers. And he's been solid whenever he's gotten the opportunity. He's in shotgun here, and he'll hand it off. Here's Zaquandre White up the middle, and he runs for about 5 yards. Getting to the 45. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Zaquandre White had a pretty good game last week, if I remember correctly. Didn't run the ball too much, but ran it effectively when he did have the ball. So 3rd and 5, or 3rd and 6 as they mark it as that. Defenders bring a blitz. McQuendon has time, throws over the middle of that pass, caught by Martin for first down, gain of 7, and they move the sticks. Tay Martin, a nice catch. A good throw by McQuendon. Pretty good coverage there, but a good throw, good catch, and a first down. And they're also now inside defender territory, so they cannot punt on this drive. McQuendon play action, and to the outside there's Martin again, and he picks up another 5 yards. To make it 2nd and about 5. McQuendon now 2 for 3, 11 yards. So we got 8:35 to go in the opening quarter. And McQuendon throwing again. He throws outside here for the tight end Gunnar Oaks. He's got the blockers out in front. He's got the first down. And a gain of 7. And another nice play for the Aviators. Just a quick, simple completion right there. And obviously first down. We got 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Defenders lead 7-0. McQuendon in shotgun, going to back to his right here. And another quick throw. This one tipped at the line and incomplete. An RPO right there. Trying to hit, I believe that was Tay Martin on the slant. But incomplete. Oh, was that a live play they just showed? I thought they were showing a replay. Apparently that was a live play. Sorry about that. But McQuendon ran for about 7. So first down from the 27. Empty backfield for McQuendon. 4 receivers bunched to the left side. Now McQuendon going to throw that way. That's caught. And they got some blockers out there. And space after the catch. Another first down for the Aviators. 10 more. And they move the sticks. This has been a good drive. Juice Wells, the former Ole Miss receiver. The catch and run right there. McQuendon now 29 yards passing. Play clock at 5 here. Ball on the 17-yard line. McQuendon gonna look to throw, and he throws outside. That's incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10. Not much time to throw there. Got pressured very quickly. Last week, the red zone offense for the Aviators not good. Just 1 touchdown and 5 red zone trips. But a good drive so far, though. They've moved the ball effectively. 9 plays, 48 yards. Now they'll go to the ground. Here's Zaquandre White bouncing outside, and White has a good run. He gains 9 and brings up 3rd and 1 with 5.5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. White does a good job bouncing outside here because there's nowhere to go on the interior. I'm going to pull up his numbers from last week. He hit a good game. 3rd and short here for the Aviators. McClendon under center. White is the back. And White gets it here up the middle. He is going to have the first down and gain 3 as he gets it to the 6-yard line. Sets the Aviators up 1st and goal. Zaquandre White last week ran for 48 yards on just 3 attempts. But I'm definitely seeing more of him today, and he's continued to run the ball effectively. Remains in the game here at running back, lined to the right of Jalen McClendon. 1st and goal from the 6. McClendon throws outside, nobody there. And it's 2nd and goal. I'm not sure if that was designed to be, if somebody ran the wrong route there or what happened. But it is now 2nd and goal from the 6. Here's the 13th play of the opening drive. McClendon in shotgun, play clock at 2. They just get it off. McClendon, it's a quarterback draw. He's got blockers in front, and McClendon into the end zone. Touchdown, Aviators. They get him with the quarterback run as McClendon runs it in for a touchdown, and both teams get off to a good start offensively as the defenders go right down the field, and now the Aviators answer. And they're an extra point away from tying the game. But that was a nice drive right there. They go right down the field. They run it well. They throw it well. And then Jalen McClendon with the rushing touchdown to get him on the board. And here is the extra point for the Aviators to tie at 7. And it is good. One thing I have noticed about kicking extra points is a lot of the kickers have the ball on the left hash, whereas in the NFL you've got most of them have it centered in the field. I know it's just personal preference, but just something I've noticed watching the first week and now this week as well. So far, both kickers have had it on the left hash. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Now tied at 7 after an opening drive, touchdowns for both sides. The Aviators went 13 plays, 60 yards, took 6:51 off the clock. Defenders 8 plays, 60 yards. They took 4:23 off the clock. Wait a minute, how did the... Oh, never mind. I thought it was not 60 yards. Both teams a 60-yard touchdown drive. But a good start offensively for both sides. And we'll see what the defenders do on their next drive. with the game being tied at 7. It's a Defenders team that did not play very well in Week 1. The offense scored just 10 points in a 16-10 loss to the Battlehawks. Alright, they're now back from commercial. Tied at 7. And the Defenders will get it back here. Cardale Jones at the game for the Aviators. Former national champion with Ohio State. And the kickoff is brought back here to the 26. Actually, great coverage right there for the Aviators. I know it just looks this way, and the field is 100 yards long, but it looks way shorter. Look, it looks like 5 yards, not 5 yards. I know it just seems that way, but it looks different. But it's probably just the camera angle, because it is a soccer stadium. Also, looks like a very good crowd there for the season opener. First ever UFL game in Columbus. They actually opened a few sections in the upper deck, after selling out the bottom. That's a very good sign for Columbus. Defenders start this drive, a handoff to Deion Jackson, and Jackson's still on his feet, bouncing off defenders. And he goes for 12 yards to start the drive. This is an Aviators defense that last week allowed the most rushing yards in Week 1, allowing, I believe, 139. And they don't do a good job there. So Ta'amu in shotgun, got Abram Smith lined up to his left. And here's Abram Smith up the middle. And he'll go for about 4 as he gets it to the 43-yard line. Abram Smith's a guy who spent his college time at Baylor, then in the XFL in 2023. He was actually the first overall pick. And he was great in 2023. Was probably the best spring football running back in the modern era. He was insane. But then tore his ACL before 2024 and hasn't really been the same since. But he'll get it again here. And another solid run for Abram Smith. He gains 4, maybe 5 yards. I want to pull up his numbers. His 2023 XFL season was insane. We've got a 3rd and 1. Here for the Defenders. Ta'amu in shotgun, got it back to his right. And here's another handoff. Smith got a lot of space to the left side. He's got the first down easily. And he's out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Another nice play on the ground. Another first down for the Defenders. Give me 1 second while I pull up his stats. Alright, I got it. Read it in a second. Ta'amu pump fakes to throw, and he will slide. And now we got a flag that comes in. Aviators don't like that. I mean, I don't love this call either. He slid really late. I mean, there's not really much the defender can do right here. So they do call unnecessary roughness. I don't really like that. He slides so late. I mean, there's nothing the defender can do. Not a huge fan of that call. Who you hoping wins? Honestly, I don't really have a preference. I would say probably, if I had to pick, I would say the Aviators. I'd like to see them get their first win, but I don't really have a huge preference one way or the other. How about you? So we got a 2nd and 6 here for the defenders. Ball on the 17. Teamu throws a swing pass out of the backfield. And not much space. As we'll get stopped pretty much at the line of scrimmage. Aviators, okay. And that is also going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. So 7-7 at the end of the first. And the defenders with the ball in the red zone to begin the second quarter. But let's see. Abram Smith, he ran for 1,600 yards his final year at Baylor. Then in the XFL in 2023, he ran for 788 yards. Which is, I believe, a modern spring football record. And then 2024 didn't play. And then last year was nowhere near as effective. With 285 yards and just 2.8 yards a carry. But, I mean, he's still a solid player. He's also now splitting time with Deion Jackson. But he's still a very good running back. Even though the numbers have taken a little bit of a dip. So we wait for them to come back from commercial as we enter the second quarter. Tied at 7. Both teams just one drive in that first quarter. Well, technically the defender is on their second. This current drive for the defender, 7 plays, 57 yards. In the first quarter, the defenders outgained the Aviators 83-60. And the defenders at 5.5 yards a play, Aviators at 4.6. But both offenses moved the football, and both teams score points on the only drive they've completed. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial and start the second quarter. Oh, now they got back. Where did I said that? Alright, so now they're back. 3rd and 7 from the 17. We got Teamu in shotgun, gonna look to throw here. And Teamu throws over the middle. Dangerous pass. And incomplete. So it is 4th and 7. Didn't seem like a great decision to throw that for Teamu. Fairly tight window. Some defenders. Or really not defenders. Too many aviators in the area. So that brings on Matt McCrane for a 35-yard field goal. Last week he hit from 60 in the first ever 4-point field goal. This is a 4th and 7, 35-yard attempt. And the kick from McCrane right down the middle. So the defenders get some more points as it is now 10-7. As they have another solid drive. They go down the field, get to the red zone, although this time the Aviators defense comes up with a stop. And they hold them to 3. But it is now 10-7, 14:23 to go in the first half. And we'll see what the Aviators can do for their next possession. Give me 1 second. Well, we've already seen 17 combined points in this game, which is looking like it's going to be a lot higher scoring than last week's game, ending 15-13 last Friday. I mean, that was a game that was still pretty good, and it seemed like there was some offense in that game, despite there not being much points, or many points, whatever the right wording is there. They still move the ball. And even though it looks like it was a defensive game, really, there was some good offensive plays. But this game we're actually getting some points, so that is definitely an encouraging thing to see, especially for people who just look at the scores and they're like, oh, 15-13, that game must have been terrible. Alright, so we're now back from commercial. And the Aviators will get it for their second possession. So 10-7, defenders lead. And this kick can be brought back from the 5. And Zaquandre White brings it back to the 30. And that is where Jalen McClendon and the Aviators offense will start their second possession. So 10-7 defenders. Aviators moved the ball pretty well in their first drive. Let's see if that continues. So McClendon under center. And he'll hand it off. Here is John Lovett. But he swung down for also about 3. I think that was Lovett. Haven't seen much of Toa Taua. I think we saw him, like, their first play. They threw an incompletion to him, and that was it. So 2nd and 14. McClendon in shotgun from the 26. And here is McClendon. Makes a guy miss in the backfield and dumps it off to the tight end Oaks. And he'll gain 3, but it still brings up 3rd and long. Tough spot to be in right here for the Aviators. It is going to be a 3rd and 11. With 13:15 to go in the first half. Let's see what they can do here. So McClendon in shotgun, got Lovett to his right. The Aviators are 2 for 2 on 3rd down, but this is a 3rd and 11. So McClendon going to step up. McClendon going to try to run for it here, and he is going to have the first down with his legs. McClendon gains 13 in the scramble, and he moves the sticks. That's a good job right there. I did not think he was going to get that. I mean, the protection's not terrible. He's got a decent pocket, although it's nothing amazing, but he sees a lane and is able to step up and run. Nice play. He's now run 3 times for 29 yards and the Aviators touchdown. He's under center here. Defenders might have been offsides, but here is Lovett who gets the carry, and a flag comes in late. A gain of about 3 on the play if it stands. We actually got a horse collar tackle going against the defenders. I actually don't know if that was a horse collar tackle, because it looks like he grabbed him by the nameplate, which I'm pretty sure is not a horse collar. But I'm not sure. Defenders also penalized 12 times last week in their loss to Battlehawks, most of any team. Here's Lovett again. This time he stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So we got an interesting running back rotation here for the Aviators. We saw a lot of Zaquandre White in the first drive. Now we're seeing a lot of John Lovett here on the second drive. Still haven't seen much of Toa Tawa. Saw him one play on the first drive, and that was it. We've also seen the Aviators come out under center a lot more on this second drive. McClendon gonna look to throw. McClendon gonna try to run again. Makes the guy miss and picks up about 3 on the scramble. But he's now 3rd and 6. We got McClendon in shotgun, Lovett to his left. It's 3rd and 6, could be 4 down territory. McClendon, pressured, gets rid of it, that's caught, but he's short of the first down. Martin got about 4. A nice tackle in space. McClendon had to get rid of that quick because the defenders brought the blitz. So now it's 4th and about 2, and a decision here if you're the Aviators and Ted Ginn. And he's going to send down his field goal team. Ryan Coe went 3 for 3 last week. This would be a 51-yarder to tie the game at 10. From the right hash. And the kick from 51, no good. Goes wide to the left, had the distance. Just misses to the left, and it stays 10-7. I was going to say, I mean, obviously now looking back on it, going for it might have been the better decision, but I think I might have gone for that anyway. 4th and 2, as opposed to kicking a 51-yard field goal. I mean, I know it's not impossible to kick a 51-yarder, but I think I might have gone for that. But, I mean, obviously, they disagreed. But the score stays 10-7. We got 9:44 to go in the first half. Both teams running the ball pretty effectively. 46 yards and a touchdown for the Aviators. 55 yards and a touchdown for the Defenders. Both teams on 10 carries. A lot of short passes so far from McClendon. 6 for 10, 36 yards, but I mean, he's been pretty solid. What is your chess ELO? I don't know what that is. I don't know if I'm supposed to. But if that's referring to chess, like I play chess, well, not really. I play occasionally. I'm pretty bad at it though. If that's the question. So 1st and 10. Here is Teamu on the option. He's got a lot of space up the middle. He breaks the tackle and gains about 17 yards. There on 1st down. Look like nobody was expecting Teamu to keep that. Everybody follows the receiver who went in the sweep. And a big run there for Teamu on 1st down. Here they go to the ground. Deion Jackson makes the guy miss. And Jackson gains about 5, maybe 6 yards. So 2nd and 5. Here's another run. Jackson up the middle. And this time not as much, but still a solid run. Makes it 3rd and 1. What did you get for dinner? What did I have? I don't know. Whatever my mom made. Bunch of vegetables. I don't really remember what. So we got a 3rd and 1. Bring a receiver in motion, fake handing it to him, then hand it off to Jackson, who goes nowhere. He got stopped in the backfield and brings up 4th down. With 8 minutes to go in the first half. So now the Defenders with a decision to make right here. It's 4th and 3. And they're going to keep the offense out there. Would be a long field goal. They got the offense out there. And they will snap it. Teamu, play action, rolling right. Back across the field. That's caught by Cornell Powell for a 1st down. So they go for it on 4th down. And they're able to convert. Good job by Teamu there to go to a second read. The first one was the running back out of the backfield. That was covered. Will you be streaming the NBA playoffs? No, I'm not going to be streaming the NBA playoffs. I will be streaming the Final Four tomorrow. I'll be streaming the second game, Michigan-Arizona. And the national championship game Monday, but NBA playoffs, no, I won't be streaming that. First down run is a gain of about 7. For Valde, not sure who that guy is, but he gains officially marked as 6 on first down. So 2nd and 4. Here's Valde again. And he's going to get to the outside. Just got tripped up. But he had a lot of space if he was able to break that tackle. But a gain of 5. And a first down. I mean, if he was able to break that tackle, he might score. But a good tackle on the outside, preventing a bigger play. Here's Valde again. He cuts back. And he's got another good run. As he gains 8, gets it down to the 10-yard line. Why didn't you decide the women's Final Four? I just don't really watch women's basketball. Just not something that interests me. The defenders ready to run for 99 yards today. After last week rushing for 73. And this Aviators run defense does not look very good. They've been run over today. And last week they also allowed the most rushing yards against the Storm. So that looks to be a pretty big problem for the Aviators. Last week allowed... Let's see. They allowed 139 rushing yards last week. And they also allowed 4.7 yards per carry. The Aviators actually last week were the best team in terms of running the ball offensively, 5.4 or 5.5 yards a carry, which was best in the league in week 1. So we got 5:44 to go in the first half. They went to a timeout for, I believe, an injured player. No, actually, we got a timeout by the Aviators. So they call a timeout. That's the first timeout spent by either side in this first half. It's not. I just don't have an interest in women's basketball. And there's a bunch of people who you can ask that to, and they're going to say the exact same thing. It's nothing against who's playing. I just don't really care about it. Like, I'm not even the biggest basketball fan to begin with. Like, I just like March Madness because of all the chaos that happens. But I mean, there's not even that much chaos in women's basketball anyway. Alright, so they're now back from commercial here. After the Aviators timeout. Play selection so far for the defenders, very run heavy. 18 run plays, just 6 pass plays. And so far, they've run the ball very effectively. So here is a 2nd and 2. from the 10. And in another run play, here's Valde trying to get to the outside, breaks a tackle, and he scores! Defenders with their second touchdown of the day. They've now scored on all 3 drives. And Xavier Valde with a 10-yard rushing touchdown. And the defenders extend their lead. As they're now up, about to be 17-7, assuming they make the extra point. So a touchdown there for the defenders. And here is McCrane for the extra point to make it 17-7. And his kick is right down the middle. Although we got a flag on the extra point. I think the Aviators might have jumped early. Yeah, they were offsides. The defenders just declined a penalty. They'll take the point. And they're up by 10, 17-7. So we're down to 5:11 to go in the first half. Defenders have already scored more than they did all of last game, as they've scored 17. Last week they only put up 10. And the defenders, that drive, they ran 9 plays for 59 yards. 8 of those 9 plays were... I scratch my face after I read your messages. It's obvious you're scared. I'm not scared. I just have an itch on my face. But 8 of the 9 plays there for the defenders on the ground. Actually, the only pass play on that drive is the 4th down conversion on the throw to Cornell Powell. The defenders, they've now run for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns on 6.1 yards a carry. And as a team, they've got 142 total yards, 5.7 yards per play. So we got 5:11 to go, and we'll see what the Aviators can do for their next offensive possession. They went down the field and scored a touchdown in their first drive, and then the second drive missed a field goal, 51 yards to be exact. So now we'll see what they can do on their third drive. They've moved the ball pretty effectively on both drives. So we got 5:11 to go in the first half. As McCrane kicks off. And this one going to be fielded at the 5. And here is White on the return. And he's going to break a tackle, but now going backwards. And White is eventually tackled at about the 20-yard line. Wonder if they give him forward progress here, but even if they do, it's nothing too crazy. So the Aviators offense back onto the field. Quendon so far today has been pretty solid. 6 for 10, 36 yards. He also run the ball 4 times, 32 yards, and a touchdown. He's almost got as many rushing yards as he does passing yards. So here is Toa Tawa up the middle, and Tawa bouncing outside. Now cuts back inside. He's got a good run. He gains 12 there on the first play of the drive. And it looks like they're going to have this, like, 3 running back rotation. They've got we saw Zaquandre White on the first drive, and John Lovett last drive in the second drive. Now here's Toa Tawa, so I mean, they've got 3 good running backs, so it makes sense to get them all involved. So first down from the 32. And here's McClendon. And now time runs out, and he goes down for a sack. He had time initially, but the pocket collapses from the interior, and Maxwell ends up with the first sack of the game for the Defenders' defense. So McClendon goes down for the sack and brings up 2nd and long for the Aviators. McClendon, looks like that was a screen, but that was covered, so he just tries to keep it himself, but he stopped at the line of scrimmage. And it brings up 3rd and 18 with 3.5 to go. I think the Giants probably going to go Sonny Styles. I mean, I don't want to take a running back there at number 5. You just don't need a running back. If you got Tyrone Tracy, Cam Scott, I'd much rather a linebacker. What the heck? Why did this just skip so far ahead? I don't know. Apparently they got 17 yards there on 3rd down. And now they're going to go for it here on 4th down. So sorry about that. I missed a 3rd down play. So 4th and 1. And the defender is going to call a timeout. So the defenders call their first timeout. Also, the play-by-play said the Aviators had called a timeout before, but they still have all 3, so I'm not sure what that stoppage was before. Because it wasn't an Aviators timeout. Because they've got all 3. So the 3rd down play was a catch and run for Jalen Moore, who got 16. And that is how we're at this 4th and 1. And the Aviators are still in their own territory here, so kind of a big gamble right here. Going for it on 4th and 1 from your own 41. So they got the offense out there after the timeout. McClendon under center. Play action. McClendon throws. Tawa. Oh, he missed him. Tawa was wide open in the flat, but McClendon couldn't get the throw accurately under pressure. And the big gamble from the Aviators does not pay off. And the defender's defense gets a stop, and they'll take over the great field position. I mean, it looks like they got exactly what they wanted. They got Tawa wide open in the flat. But McClendon just makes a bad throw. He's forced to rush it with a couple defenders right there in front of him. And that's a tough miss for the Aviators. And now you've got the defenders getting the ball inside of Aviator territory as well. How many times out of 10 are you accurately throwing that ball? Probably not too many, but I'm also not a professional quarterback. Tayamu throws down the sideline. That's caught by Deion Jackson. Down to the 14-yard line, and a nice throw and catch. And a good start to the drive for the defenders. One play, and they're in the red zone. With a wheel route out of the backfield right there. For Deion Jackson. Nice throw for Te'amu as well. And that's also going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Not sure why there was a pause right there. But the clock now continues to run, and we go to the 2-minute warning of the first half. Do you graduate yet? Yeah, I graduated high school last summer. But that first play of the drive is a 29-yard completion to Deion Jackson. Getting it down to the Aviators' 12-yard line. As Te'amu is now 6 for 7, 70 yards. And on the ground, the defenders run for 110 and 2 touchdowns. How many viewers do you invite? Nobody? It's just family. Have you gotten monetized yet? If not, how far are you? No, not yet. Unfortunately. I am... I don't know, like... between 1,500 and 2,000 watch hours away. So... a good amount, but... not, like, insane. So they're now back from commercial after the 2-minute warning. So we got 2 minutes left in the first half. Defenders with the ball, up by 10, and an opportunity to extend that lead. The Aviators do get the ball to start the second half, which is a good thing, because with the way it's gone so far, they definitely need to get the ball and get some points. Here's a handoff. Jackson up the middle. He's got his second touchdown of the day, and the defenders about to go up 24-7. Here late in the first half. Man, this Aviators run defense is awful. They've now allowed three first half rushing touchdowns over... well over 120. Or well over 100, close to 120, I think. First half rush yards. As Deion Jackson, with a 12-yard rushing score, his second of the game. And here is Matt McCrane for the extra point, which will put him up by 17. And it is good. So 24-7. The defenders dominating the Aviators so far. This Aviators defense is not looking so great. That is now 24 first half points for the defenders, after the Aviators only allowed 23 in the entire game last week. And the defenders up to 183 total yards, 61 passing, 122 rushing. Not looking good for the Aviators. Yeah, really. I mean, the offense hasn't been terrible, but this defense has not looked good, especially against the run. Remember seeing the short where you showed you correctly predicted the Eagles 49ers game, and it was so funny. Someone thought you made the prediction after the game. I do remember that. I remember I actually correctly predicted the score, which never happens. So I actually didn't even realize that until somebody commented on my original prediction video I made that I did that. I didn't even realize that. The defenders, they've already scored more points, they have more rush yards, and more total yards tonight in the first half than they had in the entire game from last week. So, really not looking the greatest. Or really looking pretty good for the defenders, not so great for the Aviators. So here's White on the return. Oh, he got drilled at the 21-yard line. He got leveled. And that was a huge hit and great kick coverage there for the defenders. That was a huge hit. So 1st and 10 from the 22. Let's see what the Aviators can do here before halftime. McClendon, quick throw underneath. That pass caught for a gain of about 7. So 2nd and 3, down to a minute 30 to go in the first half. McClendon, that pass got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. So it brings up 3rd and 3, minute 28 to go. Aviators still have all 3 timeouts, and the clock temporarily stops on 1st downs, like in college, until the ball is spotted. If you're the Aviators, you really want to make sure you can get points here before halftime. McClendon, underneath that is incomplete. Trying to find Alize Mack right there. And just like that, it's 4th down. So, I mean, that is not a good drive there for the Aviators. They had a good start, but then that was it. Then a couple quick incompletions, and they now got a punt. It's the first punt of the game, but this is not good. And I mean, with the way the Aviators defense is playing and the defenders offense, the defenders could make this 31 or even 24 or 27 before halftime. Oh, they muffed the punt. Maybe not. The punt gets muffed. And it looks like the Aviators might have gotten this. It is Aviators football. That is just what they needed. The defenders muffed the punt. And just how they drew it up, the Aviators get a big play. Wow. I mean, they needed that in the worst way possible. And they get it. The punt gets muffed. And then the Aviators dive on at the 35-yard line. That is exactly what they needed. And let's see if they can capitalize here before the half. McClendon? Oh! Is that intercepted or caught by a lineman? They tried to set up the screen for Zaquandre White. The offensive lineman comes away with the ball. But that almost got picked by a defensive lineman. That was a crazy play. Now there's a flag down for, I believe this is going to be illegal touching. Because the lineman is not an eligible player. So yeah, the defensive end knocks it in the air, tries to bat it back to himself, but the offensive tackle is able to catch it. So I think this should be illegal touching. And it's going to be a penalty against the Aviators. But I mean, a lot has happened over the last couple plays with the muff punt, now this play. Although, I just put captions on to see what the refs are talking about, because they're all mic'd up. So there is going to be an unnecessary roughness as well. I'm not sure. So let's see, this is a long discussion for the officials. Alright, so they're just going to review it because I'm pretty sure the refs have no idea what's actually going on. So we've got a face mask against 23 of the defense. And we've also got a personal foul against 23 of the defense. So that means the penalty is 15 yards. So after all that, it is first down for the Aviators. And the ball on the 25-yard line after a 15-yard penalty. So a lot happens, but it ends up working out in the Aviators' favor. So 1st and 10. McClendon, pressure, gets rid of it underneath. That's caught by White, and he's got space after the catch. And White out of bounds at the 10-yard line. A flag is down again. McClendon is a little slow to get up. He took a big hit on that play from Derek Robertson. I think they might call roughing the passer here. Yeah, he lands on it. That is going to be roughing the passer. So back-to-back penalties against the defenders. And now the defenders are trying to get... Well, I'm not sure what's going on here. Defenders, I don't know if they've got the wrong guy on the field or if they're not lined up properly. But they're forced to burn a timeout. But the momentum has definitely shifted here after that muffed punt. It was all defenders. They had forced a 3 and out. But now it is, after the muffed punt, it's Aviator ball. There's been some penalties against the defenders, and then they've got it. On the 11-yard line here. So here's a handoff. White makes the guy miss in the backfield, trying to turn the corner. White hurdles the guy and scores. What a run for Zaquandre White. And the Aviators cut into this defender's lead. Zaquandre White, what a run. And the Aviators about to cut it to a 10-point game. And they get the ball to start the second half. So, I mean, this is... They are not out of this. I mean, we're still in the first half. The 10-point game at the half is not anything crazy at all. And then here is the extra point. And it is good. So 24-14. It's been an entertaining game so far. Aviators get some points back. It's a 10-point game. And that was a nice run for Zaquandre White. I mean, a nice cut to make somebody miss in the backfield. Then hurdled the guy near the goal line. And it's now a 10-point game, 55 seconds left in the half. And if you're the Aviators, I think you got to feel pretty good about this. I mean, yeah, you're down by 10. It's not great. But I mean, for the Aviators, you can get a stop. Just go to halftime. You get the ball coming out of the half. If you score a touchdown, you can make it a 3-point game. So, I mean, this is... really a... not in a terrible spot, despite being down by 10. And just being down by 17. But The momentum has really shifted. After that muffed punt. So we still wait for them to come back from commercial, and we'll see what the defenders can do before halftime. Wonder how aggressive they get. They've got a timeout, got about a minute to work with. I think he might try to do something. Even if it's just a long field goal, McCrane made from 60 last week worth 4 points. But we'll see what the defenders try to do here. And this one does not reach the landing zone. So it'll be a penalty against the Aviators. That's a mistake right there. Because that now puts the ball on, what is it, the 45? No, the 40. So that puts the ball on the 40-yard line. You need, like, what, 15 yards to realistically give them a chance at a 60-plus yard field goal worth 4 points? So, I mean, this is... This is a decent spot for the defenders right here. So Teamu in shotgun, Abram Smith to his left. Teamu bobbles a snap, and now throws, intercepted! Picked off! And it brought back to the 42-yard line. That was a terrible throw by Teamu. Threw it right to the defender. And man, the Aviators have all the momentum on their side. Teamu had just one interception or one incompletion in this game, and he throws his second right to the defender. He just does a great job reading the eyes of Teamu. And I mean, even if the defender's not there, that's gonna be a terrible throw way behind him. But all the momentum is on the side of the Aviators. And I mean, they can realistically get 3 more here, maybe even 7, because there's time. And they get the ball to start the second half, man. This is not looking good for the defenders. Because after that, they got the ball on the DC 41. Still 3 timeouts, 48 seconds. So let's see how the Aviators manage things right here. McClendon. Delayed handoff to John Lovett. And he'll gain 3. And then Ted Ginn calls timeout. See, I don't like that call. Like, I know teams always start with a draw or a screen. But what is the point of running a draw right there? It's not like you're trying to get some space and just jumpstart the drive. You're already inside your opponent's territory. There is no point in running a draw play. Especially if you're just going to gain 3 yards and then call a timeout after it. It just never makes sense for me. Like, if you're going to start the drive at, like, your own 20 and try to pop a big run, like, I get that, but here at your opponent's 41, it's just the dumbest play call ever. It makes no sense. So 2nd and 7. McClendon has time, and he throws down the field. That is intercepted. He throws it right back, and the defenders have it their 10-yard line. The Aviators gifted a great opportunity, and McClendon throws it right back 2 plays later, as it gets picked off with 36 seconds left in the first half. I mean, McClendon's got time. And he throws it like right in the middle of 2 players. He throws it too far for the corner route, but way underthrown for the guy running the deep route. I mean, that is just not a good throw by McClendon. So the defenders take a knee, and we'll head to halftime. 24-14, a very... I don't know what the right word is. A very interesting final couple minutes. With the muff punt, the penalties, the touchdown by White, the turnovers. Not a great end of the half. But the Aviators, a 10-point game. Getting the ball to start the second half. They're still in this game. But, I mean, that is not a good interception right there from McClendon. I mean, there's never really a time where an interception's good, but right there before halftime is not necessarily the time where you want to try to force the ball into coverage. But I'm going to go take a quick break. I'm going to go use the bathroom, fill my water, and I'll be back for... I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, I'm back. So we've got the Defenders by 10. 24-14. Not a great half for the Aviators. It could have been a lot better. Could have also been a lot worse. I mean, they got pretty lucky at the end of the half. Between the muff punt, the penalties against the Defenders, the interception by Ta'amu as well. But, I mean, the Aviators still very much in this game. So, not out of it. But as far as an updated score prediction goes, I originally said the Aviators 20-16. I mean, both these teams scoring a good amount. We've already seen how many combined points? 24 and 14, that is 38. So we've seen 38 combined points, which is already more than we saw in the entire first half of last Friday's game. Or sorry, in the entire game of last Friday's game. But, yeah, as far as an updated score prediction goes, let's see. I mean, I originally obviously said 20-16 like I just said, but let's go. I'm going to switch to the Defenders. I just think they've been the better team. Not out of it for the Aviators at all, but the Defenders, they've just been better. And I'll take the Defenders to get the win. And we'll go. Let's see, we'll give them a touchdown. We'll give them 2 touchdowns, bring them to 38. And that seems like a lot, but I mean, that's only another 2 touchdowns, which the way they've been playing, it doesn't seem that unlikely. But we'll go Defenders by a score of 38 to... We'll say 38-24. Defenders. As far as some stats from the first half go, Jordan Ta'amu, a pretty solid first half besides the interception, as he went 6 for 8, 70 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. On the ground for the Defenders, they were great. Deion Jackson, 9 carries, 45 yards, 2 touchdowns. Xavier Valade, 5 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown. Abram Smith, 3 for 24. And Jordan Ta'amu, 3 for 19. Then receiving for the Defenders, Cornell Powell with 3 catches, 33 yards. Deion Jackson, 1 for 29. Mason Fairchild, 1 for 8. Valade, 1 catch, 0 yards. And Kuti and Scott both targeted, but no catches. And then for the Aviators, McClendon, 10 for 18, 68 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. On the ground for the Aviators, pretty solid. McClendon is their leading rusher, 5 carries, 32 yards, and a touchdown. Zaquandre White, 4 carries, 21 yards, and a touchdown. Toa Tawa, 1 carry, 11 yards, and John Levitt, 4 carries, 2 yards. And it definitely does seem like the Aviators are going to use that running back rotation I was talking about before. Because we've seen Zaquandre White Then we've seen John Lovett, Toa Taua, and then for the fourth drive we saw White. It was Lovett for the fifth drive, and it looks like that's going to be the way they play things offensively with their running backs. But as a team for the Aviators, 14 carries, 66 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 4.7 yards per carry. Then receiving for the Aviators, Tay Martin, 3 catches, 16 yards. Jalen Moore, 1 catch, 16 yards. Zaquandre White, 1 catch, 14 yards. Juice Wells, 1 catch, 11 yards. Gunnar Oaks, 2 for 7. Kiki Chisholm, 1 for 7. And Taua and Mack both targeted, no catches. And the left tackle, Nelson, caught a pass. Ryan Nelson has 1 catch for -5 yards. But they are definitely spreading the ball around. Because that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different players have caught a pass. 9 different players have been targeted. So 10 completions to 7 receivers. Although McClendon just not the most efficient or effective. I combine the two. I mean, he's averaging 3.8 yards per attempt. Like, that has always been my one criticism of him. He's a good player, but he's just never really been that, like, efficient or anything. Like, in his... Like, even last year, 6.5 yards per attempt isn't terrible, but it's not amazing. Like his... Like, I'm trying to find the stats right now. It's hard because he didn't really play many games in college. I'm going to pull up his stats from last year. Give me 1 second to pull those up. Like, I even remember last year, he had a game where he threw for 500, or, wow, that'd be a lot, 300 yards, but he needed like 50 attempts to get there. Like, that is my one criticism of him. He's not the most efficient. Like, last year, 65% complete percentage was pretty good, which was 3rd in the league. 6.5 yards per attempt, 4th among qualified passers. And he was 3rd in yards, but I mean, he just wasn't that efficient. But he also wasn't, like, awful. In 2024, he didn't really play at all. I think he was actually with the Defenders that year. Yeah, he just threw for 129 yards with the Defenders. But, I mean, he's very good, but just not always the most efficient. So that is my one criticism of him. And if I can pull up the game we're talking about last year. Yeah, it was against the Panthers. They ended up losing the game 30-18. He threw for 316 yards, but he needed 30 completions and 50 pass attempts to get there. And then you look at the rest of his games, like yards per attempt wise, it's just nothing amazing. 5.3, 5.3, 6.2, 6.3. He does have a couple games over 7, but it's just nothing too crazy. I mean, 7 yards per attempt isn't terrible at all, but it's just... It could be a lot better. But the second half looks like it's going to start in a couple minutes. So, I'm going to continue to go over some stats real quick. And go over team stats. Defenders outgained the Aviators 182 to 127. The Defenders at 6.3 yards of play. Aviators at 3.8. The Defenders also 3 for 4 in the red zone. Aviators 2 for 2. Both teams 61 total passing yards. But the Defenders more yards per attempt, but Aviators more completions and attempts. And then on the ground, the Defenders were the much better team. I mean, the Aviators weren't bad, just weren't the greatest. As the Defenders, they ran for 121 compared to the Aviators 66. The Defenders 6 yards a carry and 3 touchdowns. Aviators 4.7 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. And then defensive stats, both teams with 1 sack, 3 TFLs for the Defenders, 2 for the Aviators, 3 pass deflections for the Defenders, 1 for the Aviators, and then 2 turnovers by the Defenders, the interception and muffed punt, and 1 turnover by the Aviators. But we get ready to start the second half, so I will change the scoreboard around. There we go. And hopefully the second half is pretty entertaining. I mean, a pretty entertaining first half. And we'll see what both teams have in store in the second half. But looks like we're going to start the second half as soon as they get back. Actually, they just got back right as I said that. But a 10-point game as we start the second half. So the Aviators will get the ball to start the half. And we'll see what Jalen McClendon and the offense can do. But the Aviators definitely haven't looked great so far. I still think this is a team that's pretty good. Gotta clean a lot of things up, obviously, but I think they're a pretty good team, at least on paper, but haven't really played that way so far. We'll see how they We'll see what they can do here in the second half. Alright, so we're finally ready to start the second half. Thought we were going to start a while ago, but we start the second half here. The defenders kick it off. And the kickoff going to get brought back from about the 8-yard line. So here is Zaquandre White. Took that huge hit on the previous kickoff, then scored the touchdown. And he brings it back to the 33-yard line. So McClendon and the offense onto the field. And we'll see what they can do on the first drive of the second half. So McClendon in shotgun, Lovett to his right. Ball spotted on the 34. McClendon steps up, and McClendon is going to scramble here for about 5, maybe 6 yards. I do think they need to try to get the ball out of his hands quickly because the pass rushes look pretty good. The offensive line hasn't necessarily always given him a ton of time. And we saw them have a lot of success with that early in the game with those quick completions to the outside. But here they go to the ground. Here is Lovett bouncing off a defender, and Lovett still going inside the 50. Lovett down to the 30-yard line. What a run by John Lovett. And a big first down for the Aviators. Their biggest play offensively of the day. He just ran right through the initial tackle attempt. Broke another arm tackle. And he had a great run on first down. All the way inside the defenders' 40 to the 31-yard line. So here is McClendon in shotgun, Lovett to his left. And Lovett now cuts up the middle, and this time not nearly as much space. And he gains just 2. So 2nd and 8. From the 29, McClendon in shotgun. Tay Martin goes across the formation. McClendon steps up. Again, he's going to run. And McClendon gets a block and slides after a gain of 7. And now there's a flag on the play. We had a hold against the offense. So had a wipe off, nice scramble. And back him up 10. This offensive line has not played too well in pass protection. McClendon has not as much time. I mean, there he had some time, but he just decides to tuck it and run pretty quickly. So 2nd and 18, McClendon underneath that pass call. A nice move after the catch by Juice Wells. And he gains about 12, gets that penalty yardage back, and makes a much more manageable 3rd down. So it is 3rd and 6. So the defenders show blitz here on 3rd and 6. They'll bring 4. McClendon pressured, and McClendon is going to lose the ball. Wait, that's defender's football. The defender has come away with it. And wait a minute, I'm not sure if this is been ruled dead or not yet. It looked like the clock had stopped and the play was over. But then the defenders started running it back. And now the Aviators get it back. This is crazy. I'm not sure what's going on here. So it is Aviators football. So it was fumbled by McQuendon. Recovered by the defenders, but he was never touched down. He thought the play was over. Wow, I mean, we gotta make sure he's never touched down right here. Oh, he's touched. I don't know if his knee is down or not. But he just starts running like he's celebrating. This is gonna be very close. They're gonna have to review this. McQuendon fumbles. That's the first thing. Clear fumble. I think he might be up before Lovett touches him. This is insane. So McQuendon fumbles. It gets recovered by the defenders. And then they think the play is over, so they go run it back to the end zone to try to celebrate. But then in the process, he fumbles. And the Aviators seem like they're going to get the ball back. It looks like his knee is up off the ground before Lovett touches him. Wow, this is crazy. They got a lot to figure out here in this review. So, well, all of this is going to end up working out for the Aviators, and it's going to be first down as well. I mean, it'll be like 20 yards back, but it is first down for the Aviators. That is a wild sequence. I mean, the whistle never blew. The officials did exactly what they were supposed to do. That is an insane play. But all that, and the Aviators with the ball at the 35-yard line. Their own 35. And it's first and 10. So McQuendon sets up the screen here for Lovett, juggles it, makes the catch, gets dropped for a 5-yard loss. So he goes nowhere. They're actually going to say he lost 6 and make it 2nd and 16. So 2nd and 16. Play clock at 0 here. And we got a delay a game. And this is not good for the Aviators. So it is 2nd and 21. McQuendon underneath for maybe a yard. So they got a yard, make it 3rd and 20. Now, the good news here for the Aviators is you can punt this. You're not forced to go for it because even though they had cross midfield with the fumble, they lost possession and got it back. So it's a new drive, so they can punt. So 3rd and 20, they just got the playoff. McQuendon, pocket collapsing, he lost the ball again. It's kicked around, and then finally recovered by the Aviators back at the 13-yard line. So that is another fumble from McQuendon, and this is awful. The Aviators just look completely off. It actually gets knocked out by his own lineman. Ryan Nelson, the left tackle, ends up knocking the ball out of McQuendon's hand. And they're very lucky they're able to get that back. So 4th and 33. The Aviators punt it away. And the defenders bring it back to the 48-yard line. So a lot has happened over the last several minutes. And not gonna lie, it has not been too great football. But we've got 8:31 to go in the third quarter. Defenders by 10. And we'll see what they can do on their first drive of the second half. But we wait for them to come back from commercial, and we'll see what the defenders can do on this next possession. Give me 1 second. Alright, so they're now back from commercial, and we will see what the defenders can do for their first offensive possession here in the second half. The first play is a handoff to Deion Jackson, and he will gain 2 to the 48-yard line. and one play, and they're already inside Aviators territory. So 2nd and 8, play clock winding down, they'll just get it off. And here's a handoff, Jackson breaking free! Deion Jackson inside the 20. He is gonna score for the Defenders, his 3rd touchdown of the game. Puts the Defenders over 30. And Deion Jackson, what a night. 48 yards, his 3rd rushing score. And the Defenders extend their lead. The Aviators continue to not be able to stop the run. The Defenders have their way offensively. And Deion Jackson, a nice run there. And the Defenders up to 30, about to be 31. As here is McCrane for the extra point. And it is good. So 31-14, the Defenders lead the Aviators. Man, what a difference a week makes. Last week, the Defenders' offense looked terrible. They couldn't run the ball, couldn't throw the ball. And then today, they come out and they score 31 in the first 38 minutes of the game. And they're running the ball really well and throwing it well. Te'amu's thrown for 70 yards, and they've run for 171. Deion Jackson, 11 for 95 and 3 touchdowns. Valade, 33. Te'amu, 19. Abram Smith, 24. What a performance so far. 171 yards, 4 touchdowns. 7.8 yards per carry for the Defenders so far. And that's just through the first 2.5 quarters. It's actually crazy. I wonder what the UFL record is for most rushing yards in a game by a team. So according to this, John Lovett of the San Antonio Brahmas, this is according to the Google AI overview. John Lovett of the San Antonio Brahmas holds the UFL record for most rush yards in a single game, recording 153 yards on May 5th, 2024, in an 18-12 loss to the DC Defenders. The Battlehawks set the team single-game rushing record with 273 yards in the 2025 season opener against the Roughnecks. So I guess that answers both of our questions. Jackson not up to 100 yet, but he's closing in on 100, and the Defenders as a team about 100 away from that Battlehawks record early last year. And the 3 rushing touchdowns for Deion Jackson also tie a UFL record for most rushing touchdowns in a single game. I remember De'Veon Smith actually ran 3 times for 3 yards and 3 touchdowns in week 1 of last season. So 1st and 10 from the 20 after the kick bounced into the end zone for a touchback. McQuendon pump fakes the screen, now throws it. And that nice spin move by Wells, and he got hit hard. Ball is out again. Another fumble. This time it's recovered by the defenders. And another turnover. And man, nothing going well for the Aviators today. This time the defenders come away with the ball. Don't fumble it away themselves. Juice Wells with one spin, trying to make a second move, and he just got hit from behind. Did not see it coming. Lost the ball. And the defenders forced the turnover. So one play, and they've got it back again. Seen 4 combined turnovers in this game. Oh, sorry, that says 6 combined turnovers in this game. So I've got captions on. That was blocking it. I thought it said 4, but it actually says 6. So it is now 31-14. Teamu on the option, and he'll slide after gain of a yard. Teamu was only thrown for 70 yards, only thrown the ball 8 times, but I mean, with the way they're running the football, who cares about the pass game? So 2nd and 9. Here's the handoff on the jet sweep. And a gain of about 4 on the play. Therefore, the defenders. So 3rd down and 5. This could be a rare time they'll throw the ball today. So Tiamu in shotgun, Valade is the back, lineup to his left. And Tiamu will throw. We'll set up the screen for Briley Moore. He's got blockers out in front. Moore inside the 10. Moore, an escort to the end zone. Touchdown defenders. Briley Moore, the catch and run on the screen pass, and the defenders add to their lead. It's about to be 38-14. With still plenty of time left in the 3rd quarter. Man, it's really crazy the difference a week makes. I mean, it's also crazy the difference when you're playing against the best defense in the league last week, the Battlehawks, and then a defense that looks awful, let's just be real, with the Aviators. I actually thought the Aviators defense was going to be pretty good. But clearly not the case today. And last week they weren't great either. 23 points allowed, but not their best performance. But 38-14, defenders up by 24. And this is the type of team I thought we would see. Did not think we would see last week's version of the defenders at all this year. But it has been a dominant performance for the defenders. But let's see what the Aviators can do on their next drive. But it is now 38-14. The defenders just continue to dominate. Tayamu's now thrown for 91 yards and a touchdown. And after this pass drive, the defenders up to 177. On the ground, that is. But as a team, the defenders 259 yards, 7.6 yards per play. They've been great. The defenders, they hold the record for most points in a game by a single team, with 58 in the championship game last year. The most regular season points is the Renegades, who've got 47. And, I mean, there's still a full fourth quarter, plus 6:17 here in the third quarter. We could see the defenders potentially break one of those records. This one does not reach the landing zone, so it would come out to the 40-yard line for the Aviators. So ball on their own 40 after the kick does not reach the landing zone. And the Aviators offense back onto the field. So McClendon under center. Toa Tawa is the back. And he'll get the ball here up the middle. And Tawa runs somebody over. And Tawa, a nice run. He gains 12. So, I mean, they've run the ball effectively. I just don't think they've done it enough. McClendon has run the ball 22 times. They have not run the ball nearly that much. So go back to Tawa on the ground. And Tawa, another 8 yards. The only problem is if you decide to start running the ball effectively now, you're down by 24 points. I mean, this is what this team should do. Run the football. They're on the ball quick, but even if they go at the speed of light, they're not going to catch the defenders in this game. Here's a toss. Tawa to the right side. He gets a blocker. And Tawa inside the 40 to the 31. So 3 nice run plays there for Toa Tawa. And they're already well inside defender territory. Tawa 4 carries, 35 yards in the game. The Aviators have now run for 127. McClendon to throw, got plenty of time. Throws outside, it is tipped and incomplete. A nice defensive play to break up the pass, and it's 2nd and 10. See, this is what I think this offense should look like. Running the ball, and then some pass plays. I mean, obviously that one didn't quite work out. But it does not look that good today. So 2nd and 10. McClendon to throw again. McClendon pressure, and he spikes this into the ground in front of Tawa. Another thing I feel with the Aviators is I feel like at times Todd Haley, their offensive coordinator, he's just gotten into this like pass-happy play calling. Like, there's just so many times where it's just been pass. Like, run the ball. Especially because you're not giving your quarterback much time to throw. McClendon throwing again here on 3rd down. He throws underneath. That's caught by Martin. He's got a first down. Inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. First down, Aviators. Martin had a good start to the game. That's his first catch since the first quarter. He's got 4 catches for 29 yards. So 1st and 10 from the 18. McClendon to throw again. And he checks down. Here is Tawa. And he'll gain 5. There's 2nd and 5. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Current drive for the Aviators, 7 plays, 47 yards. Now they'll go to the ground. Here is Tawa up the middle. And Toa Tawa stopped at the 10-yard line after a gain of 3. So 3rd and 2. Defenders bring a blitz. McClendon gets rid of it through the hands of Oakes, who is not ready for the ball. And it's 4th down. Fourth and 2. You've got to go for it here. So 4th and 2. Minute 40 to go in the third quarter. Empty backfield. Play clock at 2. They got to get a play off. And they're going to call a timeout. So the Aviators call a timeout with the play clock winding down. As they call their first. So 4th down after the timeout. Here's McClendon thrown underneath, caught by Chisholm, and he is going to have the first down. Sorry, I did not realize they were back from play, or ready to play. But they get the first down on the throw to Kike Chisholm. And he does a nice job working after the catch to bounce off the first defender and just get there. He's got to get to the 8-yard line. He definitely gets there. Great effort there for Kike Chisholm. So it is first and goal, Aviators, 1:05 to go in the third quarter. And let's see if the Aviators can put another one in the end zone. It's been a 10-play, 52-yard drive so far for the Aviators. Ball on the 8-yard line. McClendon in shotgun. And of course, we just skipped the play right there, because this likes to do that. I'm not sure why. But it is second and goal. I'm sorry about that. McClendon under center. Tawa is the back. Play clock at 3. They'll just get it off. Play action. McClendon throws. End zone. Call for the touchdown. Alize Mack makes the catch. And the Aviators score a touchdown on the final play of the third quarter. Alize Mack, a 3-yard touchdown catch. And a nice play right there for the Aviators. And the Aviator is going to also go for 2. Try to make it 38-22, which would be an 18-point game. So a 2-score game, because you can have a 3-point conversion. McClendon looks to throw. McClendon throws. End zone. It is broken up. So they can't... No, it's an 18-point game now. That would have made it a 16-point game. But they couldn't get the 2. But it is 38-20. So it's an 18-point defender's lead. But in the UFL, that is the 2-score game. Because if you score a touchdown, that's obviously 6. And if you score, you can also get a 3-point conversion. That's 9 points for a touchdown. But we go to the fourth quarter, an 18-point defender's lead. And we'll see what the fourth quarter has in store. Give me 1 second. But that drive for the Aviators, a pretty good drive. They went 12 plays, 60 yards. They took 6 minutes and 17 seconds off the clock. And McClendon throws the touchdown to Alize Mack. And McClendon is now up to 104 yards, touchdown, and an interception. So still nothing that great, but better than what it was. Neither team impressive passing numbers. 91 yards for the defenders, touchdown interception, and 104 a touchdown and pick for the Aviators. But both teams much better on the ground. 179 on the ground for the defenders, 141 on the ground for the Aviators. But the fourth quarter should start within the next couple seconds, and the defenders will get it back. And I mean, as crazy as this does sound, it is possible for the Aviators to win this game, despite being down 18, because I mean, 2-score game, crazier things have happened. A lot of people have left the stands in Columbus. Not too surprising, but you never know. In a game that's seen everything crazy, why not a 24-point comeback? The defenders, they've scored on 6 of their 8 drives. 5 touchdowns and a field goal. Here's Abram Smith up the middle, and he runs for 9 yards. And the good game on the ground continues for this DC offense. Just realized never changed that. Now we're good. So 2nd and 2. Here's Smith up the middle again. And he's got the first down. Only 2 yards, but enough to move the chains. As we approach 14 minutes to go in this game. So here's Abram Smith again. And this time just another 2 yards. So 2nd and 8. Tayamu to throw here off play action. Looks like he wanted to go deep. Now throw an intermediate route, and that's knocked down. Incomplete, but a flag is down in the secondary at the Aviators' 40-yard line. Yeah, we've got defensive holding against the Aviators. So it's 5 yards and an automatic first down for the defenders. So first down for the defenders on their own 49. Tayamu in shotgun, Smith to his left. So here is Abram Smith up the middle. And he'll gain 3 yards inside Aviator territory to the 48. So that means the defenders officially cannot punt on this drive. So 2nd and 7. Te'amu to throw. Te'amu pressured, and he just lets. He just throws one as he falls down, but it's actually completed for close to a first down. A dangerous throw. Does not want to take a sack, but ends up working out. But Cornell Powell makes the catch. And first down defenders. So 1st and 10 from the Aviator 40. They go to the ground. And here is the jet sweep. I'm not sure who this is, but he's got a good run. Still on his feet to the 10-yard line. Man, the Aviators are terrible against the run. Number 13, I'm not sure who that was. But he got the jet sweep, and he ran for about 30 yards. 32 to be exact. So 1st and goal from the 8. So just get the play off. And here is another run play. Valade, whatever his name is. Yeah, Valade. He got stopped at the line. Makes it 2nd and goal. The defenders, they've run for 226 so far today. After just 73 in the first week against the Battlehawks. So 2nd and goal from the 9. Te'amu to throw. He throws a fade into the end zone. It is... Did he catch that? He did. Was he in bounds? They're going to say no. You do only need 1 foot in the UFL. No, he's out. His right toe comes down on the line. Incomplete. So 3rd and goal. Te'amu, the ball is on the ground. I don't know if Te'amu was trying to keep this or hand it off. But the ball ended up on the ground. I think Te'amu was able to get it back. I think Te'amu was trying to keep this. But I'm not sure. But I do think they were able to get it back. So that is the good news for the defenders. So yeah, Te'amu was able to get the fumble back. And here is McCrane for another field goal. It's made from 35. This is a 25-yarder. And it's right down the middle. 41-20. The defenders lead the Aviators. The defenders just continue to have their way. I mean, this drive ends up stalling, but it's still a 10-play, 62-yard drive. They take 6:48 off the clock. They kick a field goal, get more points. They've still scored on a lot of drives. The defenders, they've gone touchdown, field goal, touchdown, touchdown, interception, then end to half, which doesn't even count. Then touchdown, touchdown, field goal. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drives. 7 scoring drives. That's not... Ooh, just bit my tongue when I said that. That is not including the kneel down at the end of the half. But that is pretty good. So 41-20, 8-12 to go in the fourth quarter. Defenders well on their way to their first victory of the season. Aviators on their way to falling to 0-2. As far as the upcoming schedule looks like for the Aviators, they've got... Oh, they're the team with a weird schedule. They play back-to-back games with the Renegades. They play in Dallas, and then they're at home. Then they play back-to-back with the Gamblers. Then they play the Battlehawks once. Then they're back-to-back with the Stallions. And then they play the Kings. So, I don't really like the way they did that schedule. There's no reason to have a team play another team back-to-back weeks, especially when you're doing it 3 times. I don't like that scheduling. But they play the Renegades next week and the week after. And the Defenders, they play the Gamblers and then the Battlehawks in their next 2 games. So we got 8:07 to go. We'll see what the Aviators can do on their next possession. So 8:07 to go in the fourth. 21-point Aviator leads with Defender lead. So with three score game. McClendon, delayed handoff here is Zaquandre White up the middle, and he continues to run the ball very effectively. Another 10 yards for him and a first down, Aviators. I feel this is a team that has to rely on the run moving forward. They have not run the ball nearly enough today, but when they have, it has been really good. This has got to be a running the football team, ground and pound team. Here's a screen for Juice Wells, gain of about 12. So McClendon to throw. Pump fakes. Now throws over the middle. It's tipped and incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10. McClendon's now 19 for 31 passing. So 2nd and 10, McClendon. Outside, that pass caught. There's Juice Wells again for a gain of about 7. Brings up 3rd and 4. 6.5 minutes to go. McClendon takes a shot down the field here. That pass is broken up. Trying to get it to Chisholm. And it's 4th down. So it's 4th and 4. Under 6 minutes to go. The Aviators can't punt, being inside defender territory, so they'll go for it. They'll just get the play off. Defenders bring a blitz. McClendon pressured, but he's going to be able to run for a 1st down and a lot more as he swads at the 35. So 1st and 10 from the 35. McClendon in shotgun, going to back to his right. Pump fakes, and then checks down. Here's White, makes the guy miss. And White is going to be out of bounds with 5:04 to go after getting a 5. So 2nd and 4. They actually give him 6 there on the check down. Seven plays, 47 yards so far. 3:25 off the clock. McClendon in shotgun, back to his left. He'll just get the play off. McClendon throws that pass caught inside the 10. Tay Martin breaks the tackle down to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, Aviators. Another solid play there. So 1st and goal from the 3. And we've got a timeout by the defenders, I believe. I think they had too many guys on the field. But 41-20. The defenders lead the Aviators. With the Aviators in the red zone again, and they're actually perfect 3 for 3 in the red zone today. I mean, the Aviators' offense hasn't been that bad. They haven't been great either, but they have not been terrible. They've run the ball fairly well. They haven't been great throwing it, but I think this offense has a lot of potential, especially if they continue to run the ball well. Aviators making you 0 for 1 this week. Trash team. Yeah, same here. I also took them. Not really sure what I was thinking, but they're also going to make me 0 for 1 this week. Streaming any others this week? No, this is going to be the only UFL game I stream this week. I'm streaming I think we're just gonna stream every Friday game. I mean, if there's another big game in the week, especially if we get deeper into the year, maybe I'll stream something like that. Like maybe next week I'll stream Stallions Battlehawks at 3. I don't know. That's on Sunday. That should be a good game, but we'll see. But not completely sure how many other games I'll stream the UFL, but I do know I'm going to try to stream Friday every week. So first and goal out of the timeout. McClendon throwing that is incomplete. Trying to find Tay Martin on the slam. And it brings up second and goal. So second and goal. McClendon in shotgun, back to his right from the 3. McClendon pressured, rolling right. McClendon on the run, throws back to the end zone, caught for a touchdown. Flag is down though. Tay Martin makes the catch if it stands. But a flag is down. Is an offsides penalty. The touchdown counts. As the penalties declined, and the Aviators with some more points. You're obsessed with the Storm logo. Not the color scheme that much. Orange is a hideous color. But yeah, I mean, I think their logo is pretty nice. I also don't really mind the color orange, but they do have a good logo. So they're going to go for 3 here. McClendon pressured, tripped up, still on his feet. Ball comes out, and is then recovered by the defenders, and then he's knocked down at the 9-yard line. So the try is unsuccessful, and it will stay 41-26. But another touchdown for the Aviators, and the offense continues to show some promise. The defense still looks terrible. But yeah, I think the Storm has a pretty good color scheme. Or at least logo. I didn't love the all-black home uniforms, though, when watching them last week. Like, the logo is really nice, I agree, but I just don't love the uniforms. Like, the all-black at home is just not my favorite. I mean, the white away uniforms just kind of whatever. But I'm with you. The logo is nice. So we got 3:22 to go in a 15-point game. I wonder if the Aviators would consider the onside kick alternative here. Going 4th and 12 on your own 28. Your favorite color has always been black, so well, I guess that makes a lot of sense for why you like it then. Yeah, I mean, I think an all-black uniform could look good, but it's just not my favorite. Like, I'd rather just see a color is like all black. Like, I don't mind an all-black uniform as an alternate, but as a primary home uniform, it's just not my favorite. But when you do it correctly, it does look nice. So the Aviators are going to go for that 4th and 12 possession play as the alternative to the onside kick. 4th and 12 from their own 28. McClendon in shotgun, got it back to his left. McClendon pressured. McClendon is sacked. He had no chance there. Pressure from both edges. And he took a big hit. And it looks like he's a little shaken up after that one as well. So hopefully he's okay. So the defenders take over the football at the 18-yard line after the alternative to the onside kick unsuccessful. There's Valade up the middle for about 2. And the defenders should be able to just run out this clock here. Valade gets it again here, and he goes backwards this time. And they can take that all the way down to the 2-minute warning. I'm really going to miss the Memphis Showboats just because I really like their logo. I mean, I didn't love their logo. I didn't really have a huge preference with that one way or the other. But I mean, it also wasn't a bad logo at all. Oh, so they're actually not going to take it to the 2-minute warning because the Aviators call a timeout. Not really sure why, but I mean, I guess they want to. So 3rd and 10. There's a handoff. Valade is going to gain about 3, maybe 4. Flag is down. And we got a hold against the defenders. So that going to back them up 10. I feel like the defenders have the most boring logo. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, their logo is nothing amazing. I don't really love the Kings logo either. Like, I don't really know how you're supposed to know the Kings from that logo. But yeah, the Defenders logo is nothing too interesting either. Before this year, I would have said the Renegades are the most boring logo, just that big R. But they've changed their logo to that like bandit, so it's more interesting instead of just a blue R. Because that was very boring. So 4th and 6, as the Aviators actually decline the penalty. And it's 4th and 6, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. But we wait for them to come back from commercial at the 2-minute warning. Gambler also have a pretty boring logo. Instead of the G, they could have put a dead man hand in the Texas. Yeah, I was thinking about their logo. I mean, I don't think it's terrible, but yeah, I definitely think it could be a little bit better. I would agree with you there. A logo I really like is the Battlehawks. I mean, I know some people think it's dumb, like, why is it a wing with sword? Or a sword with wings, or whatever it is. Whatever you want to say. But, yeah, I really like the logo. I think it looks cool. So the field goal try for the defenders as they're now back from commercial. And wow, that almost got blocked. But the kick from McCrane is good. So 44-26. The defenders lead the Aviators. What's up with this COFL? Not sure. What do you mean COFL? I'm not sure what you're talking about. So the kickoff is going to be brought back here. And brought back to the 35-yard line. Another football league. You were scrolling YouTube and saw a video about it. Not really sure. I haven't really heard anything about that. I'll look into it. Probably won't make videos on it, but it's interesting. It also supposedly had 8 teams. Interesting. I've not heard of that one. We have a new quarterback into the game here for the Aviators. Jalen Morton is now in. Spent the past few years with the Stallions. Mostly as a backup. Hasn't really played for them at all. But he gets some garbage time action here for the Aviators. And it's now 1st and 15 after a false start. Morton going to try to run, and he stopped behind the line for a loss of 2. So Jalen McClendon tonight is done. Not a great game for him, but also didn't really get much help from bad offensive line. Here's Morton under pressure, able to stay on his feet, and he lets one go way downfield. What are you doing? That's intercepted. I'm not sure what he was thinking there. I mean, he just threw that right to the defender. I mean, it does a good job to escape the pocket, but he just throws that right to the defender. I mean, he can practically call a fair catch on that. And it is going to be victory formation here for the defenders. And they will get their first win of the season. It's supposedly old 1960s, I think. That's interesting. I've never heard of that. So 2nd and 11. Here is the kneel down for Teamu, and that will do it. Final score 44-26. The defenders are now 1-1. The Aviators fall to 0-2. See, I just looked it up. It's a minor league football that is from the 60s. Yeah, from 1965, 1969. And it's going to get revived this year. Very interesting. But final score, defenders 44-26. They pick up their first win of the year. But that is where I'm going to end today's stream, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Game wasn't really that great, but hope you guys still enjoyed the stream. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end today's stream. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe, turn on notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. I'll be streaming tomorrow for the Final Four, like 8:45 for Michigan, Arizona. And I'll be streaming Monday for the National Championship game. And also have a lot of other videos on the way. Like these smaller football clubs give something during the offseason of the NFL. Yeah, exactly. I agree. But yeah, that is where I'm going to end the stream, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video.